Hi there, today's video is about Mars and Chiron transiting very close to each other. They are conjunct in the sky at the minute, and I would like to offer an interpretation on how I see that. So Chiron is a point in our astrological charts where we experience wounding. We've all experienced some kind of wounding throughout our lives, and in the healing of those wounds, we become the healer of ourselves and potentially other people as well. So the notion is with Chiron that wherever we have experienced our greatest wounds, our deepest suffering, those are the very areas that make us the most compassionate, because it stands to reason. We've been through those parts of our lives that were so difficult, that we lived through it. We lived through every tiny little nuance and ounce of pain of that particular story. And we therefore have a lot to offer in terms of empathy and compassion when it comes to other people walking that same path. Because we've got that connection to that particular variety of trauma. Right now, transiting Chiron and Mars are exactly conjunct each other. So when planets are conjunct, they are sitting at exactly the same degree. And at the moment, they're both at 9 degrees Aries. Now Mars is at home in Aries. Mars loves taking action. Mars wants things to move and change. So it's really that energy of Mars needing something to happen, not really stopping to ask questions necessarily. There needs to be momentum, forward motion and movement. Mars wants something to be done, anything really, to stop that wounding. So Chiron is retrograde. Now that means that there could be some old wounds coming up. They might be old individual wounds. It might be somebody who has caused you pain in the past who is coming back, and that same pattern is playing out. Only this time it's not the same, because you've gone through more life, you've gone through more transformation, you have grown since the last time this came up and this came around. So there are old wounds that are resurfacing both individually and collectively. So there could be this, and I think that we're sensing a collective sense of desperation of old patterns that we're so sick of, and we are, because on a collective level we've lived through this, these patterns of control for too long, and there's a sense of wanting something to change, wanting these power structures to change, because let's not forget that we've still got Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn all playing together in Capricorn, all retrograde, and there is still that looking back at power structures, and Pluto desperately wants that to be transformed, and Pluto is going to transform that. Everything is being transformed, but transformation isn't always pretty, and sometimes it involves a lot of knocking down and unraveling. So Mars, we need to work with the energy of Mars. Mars wants us to take action. Mars will do anything for a bit of change, even if the answer is not necessarily well thought out or peaceful. Mars wants something like a change of pace, and a change of lane almost. Mars is not going to let us stay in self-pity, stay in silence, or stay wallowing. That's not what this is about, certainly in Aries. Mars wants you to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, speak up for others, particularly those walking the same path who may be experiencing the same wounding that you have experienced. Mars demands that you stand up, you create your boundaries, you speak your truth. The energy of Aries is about the self, about independence, striking out, making that leap, moving forward, pushing forward. Think of the ram with the horns going forward, because no change is forged by just sitting back and wallowing. So it may be that you need to take a little bit more of a me first attitude at the moment. If you have been the victim of someone else's me first attitude, too much selfishness, narcissism, ego, fear, control, any form of being shut down or invalidated, or perhaps taking on more than your fair share of a burden that really belonged to someone else, or that might have been a collective burden that you have been trying to fix alone, now is the time to say, you don't want to stay in that place of being just wounded. You need to move on into the wounded healer. So it's a more healing place to be, but it's not just like the healer that arrives and goes, hey, I'm amazing, I can cure you. It's the kind of healer that comes from deep compassion of having walked a particular story for so long that you can't help but trust that person for having walked that path, because they know it. And we've all got that healer inside us. We've all got that potential to be compassionate and to extend that to other people, because we have that deep empathy for where that person is right now, because we used to walk that path. Mars right now is giving you energy and drive and the courage to take action where it's needed. There is a massive value in healing. You have to do all the reflection, the bringing up all of the troubles, all of the trauma. You have to be able to see that in the light in order to be able to heal it and be honest about it, find the language to discuss it, to be able to sit with your feelings honestly, truthfully, to really connect with yourself and to show compassion for yourself first. And then when you're done with that, what do you do with that healing? What do you do when your healing journey is done? When the karma is gone? Who emerges from that fire? Where's the phoenix? We're looking for people to step up now, and they are doing everywhere. People are moving now from that state of victim, from wounded to wounded healer. So what I would like to ask you at this time is, where in your life are you ready to move from the wounded into the wounded compassionate healer? And just to remember that speaking up does not necessarily involve shouting or being non-peaceful. You can be loving, gentle and compassionate whilst speaking the truth, because the truth will always be powerful. The truth has a power of its own. If you've liked this video, please do like, please subscribe, and head over to my Facebook group if you would like to know more about intuitive astrology and numerology. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.